Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Pixelated-Apollo. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you guys are doing well and welcome to the Temple of Melkor. So the Temple of Melkor was built by the Black Númenóreans, and now they find themselves surrounded by an alliance of men and elves. So we have one High Elves army commanded by Miles the Terrible and two Arnorian armies. The first one commanded by Joey and the second one is commanded by Happy Meal. So they may outnumber the brave Black Númenóreans, but they are not facing mindless orc. They are facing a very elite, very professional force of Númenórean infantry. So we got some Númenórean shield guard here. One of the armies are commanded by Synn of the Dark Cloud, and the other army is commanded by the very handsome, very beautiful Pixelated-Apollo. And plus, you know, facing Pixelated-Apollo, that's no easy task. So that's another thing the attackers are gonna have to deal with. Also, one more thing they're gonna have to deal with is this great runic reinforcement army. They show up about 10, 15, 20 minutes later. One of those times they show up and aid the followers of Melkor. So this is another issue for the attackers they're gonna have to worry about. So if we now look at the army comps, let's see what we got here. So starting with the High Elves, commanded by Miles the Terrible, he is fielding some Eldarin Way archers. He's got 4 units of archers. For infantry, he has the Imladris guards, about 6 units of the Eldarin Way spearmen, and 3 units of the swordsmen. He also has some Imladris Storm Guard, which is a very elite infantry, very important. And for his cav, he has 1 unit of the Eldarin Way Lancers, 1 unit of the Imladris Cavalry, and he has 1 unit of the Eldarin Way, Eldarin Way Nobles. Now, if we head over to Arnor, he's bringing 2 units of Arnor Pikemen, 6 units of Arnor Men and Arms, 2 units of Battle-Ready Dunedain, and 2 units of the Dismounted Dunedain Knights. In the back, he has his skirmishing force. He has 2 units of the Dunedain Steel Bowmen, which are deadly with their bows and just as deadly with their swords. He has 2 units of the Arnorian Heavy Archers, 2 units of the Dunedain Rangers, so lots of archers in that force. He does have some bodyguards. This is where his general is located, and he has 1 unit of the Knights of Numanas. If we head over to his allies' army, which is very similar to his, to the first army, commanded by Happy Meal, he's got Arnor Pikemen. He has 6 units of Men at Arms, Arnor Men at Arms, and he has some dismounted Dunedain Knights mixed in with 2 units of Battle-Ready Dunedain. In the back, he does have the Knights of Numanas, and he has 2 units of the Dunedain Wardens, which is a new unit. It's a spear unit. They're very, very good. And he also has some archers, some Dunedain Steel Bowmen, 2 Trebuchet, and his general is in the Dunedain Bodyguard unit. You can see his glorious armor right here. Let's now head over to the defenders. The first army commanded by Synn of the Dark Cloud. Again, this is Mordor, but this is the elite force of Mordor, the Black Númenóreans. So most of his armies consisting of the Númenórean Shield Guard, which are very nasty. They're very good at holding the line. He also has other special units like the Temple Inquisitors. They're very good with their 2-handed swords. And we also have a couple other units located around the battlefield. We got some mounted Númenórean Shield Guard. Such an awesome looking unit, very cool. He also has more elite units in the back here. He's got some Shadow Guard, which is a nasty archer unit. Very good. They're not as good as the Elven archers, but they're very close. They can get tons of kills. And he has another chunk of his army defending the other flank where Arnor is mostly going to be attacking. Again, mostly consisting of the Arnorian Shield Guard. Let's now look over at my army, which again is very similar. I've got a very similar army. It's the Mountain Númenórean Shieldmen. I've got Númenórean Shield Guard. I also have a Troll Catapult. I have some Shadow Guard up in the back. I'm kind of the back lines here, defending the last stand. Here's more Shield Guard ready to defend the final choke point. I do have some Temple Guard, which is a nasty archer unit, just like the Dunedain Rangers or the Dunedain Steel Bowmen. They're very good with their bows and very good with their swords. This is my general, Melkor's Chosen. Very nasty unit, very good. Again, if my general, or I don't think I've said this yet, but if my general dies here, it is game over and the attackers win. I also have some Olag High, which are going to be great for fighting in the front line. The final army that we're going to look at is Rune. Rune has the Gamp Rim in the front line. He also has this new unit. It's a Spearman. It's I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but yeah, another Rim unit. And then he has got the Flag Rim, and he has some Luke Nar Rim or Loki Nar Rim. Back here, he is bringing some Kamul's Shadow Guard, which is a pretty cool looking unit. In the back, he's bringing some Bodyguard, which is, of course, his Bodyguard is in. He's got the Innis Rim for his heavy cav. Some Wind Riders of the Khand, very cool, very fast moving cav. And he's got the Brotherhood of the Lance. And he's also got a couple units of the Brotherhood of the Axe. So that's it for the army comps. And let's begin this. Alright guys, here we go. The start of the assault of the Temple of Melkor, the Great Siege. And the elves are breaking their beautiful formation to advance forward and cross the bridge. Now, if we look at the positioning of these armies, the elves definitely have the most challenging location. I mean, this army, out of all the armies on the battlefield, the elves have it the hardest because they are surrounded not only by the defending forces that are defending the Temple of Melkor, you know, Mordor, they're also going to be surrounded by Rune in about 10-15 minutes. So time is against them. Even though there is no timer on the battlefield, technically time is against them because they are going to be surrounded by that great golden army back there. So they've got to push forward and be quick about it. Now, it's going to be really difficult, but the defenders here, they've got some nice strategic choke points that they must hold. They don't necessarily have to kill the elves, they just have to delay them so Rune can show up behind and, you know, save the day. So again, it's not about winning the fight against the elves, it's just about slowing the elves down. So just because you're in a fight, say like, you know, he charges up some spearmen but they're heavily outnumbered, that's okay. He doesn't have to win that. Again, just slow it down. Now, I am commanding one of the armies back here. So what I'm doing here is, yes, my army is supposed to be like the last stand army. I'm going to put down the final defense near the town center. Also, my general, he cannot die. If he dies, then it's game over. So I am going to be pretty defensive here, but I am also pushing up some infantry towards this elven defense, or the elven side where they're attacking, because I want to make sure that Rune shows up and they can surround the elves and butcher the elves. But there's also another tricky part about this defense. That is defending against Arnor, which has a pretty, again, Arnor only has one choke point they can charge through, so that's gonna make things very difficult. But again, we gotta hold against Arnor, make sure they don't break through and run over and support the elves in their conflict. Now, if you get inside the actual Temple of Melkor, there's lots of streets, lots of different pathways. It's going to be challenging for both attackers and defenders because you want to make sure that there's no flank exposed, no choke point unguarded. Because if you're defending this, let's say you're defending this choke point right here and you forget about the street over here, you're going to be in big trouble because obviously troops are going to surround you, and as the defender, you do not want to lose troops that way because you are outnumbered and you got to use the terrain against their forces. So what we're going to do here, guys, is just fast forward a little bit. We're not going to make any cuts because the battle starts here very soon, but the elves are being very smart about this advance. They are running, which is, you know, he kind of has to run. Now, I would understand why he's walking if he wanted to walk. That's because, you know, he wants to keep his troops fresh. He doesn't want them to be tired for the fight. But also, like I said earlier, the time is against him. He's got to be quick about it, and he's got to try to break down this defense before Rune shows up and just cleans them up. So, yeah, Miles the Terrible, he's got a very challenging task ahead of him. So he's got his cav in the front line. That's a great idea. I actually am moving up some of my own cav along with my ally. I was really looking for a good opportunity to charge and strike his archers. I was hoping he would be pretty lazy about advancing his army and just leave his archers out in the open. That's not the case. He's got his cav right in the front line, ready to protect his infantry. And unfortunately, I am not going to be able to make a move. And I am gonna wait though, because you never know. You gotta make sure your troops are in the right position. If you know, they make a small mistake, you can really capitalize on it. But yeah, I'm gonna have him in formation here. And now his army is finally pushing forward. He's got his archers leading the way for infantry. Obviously, he's going to be using his archers to soften up the defenses, but he doesn't have a lot of time. It's not like he can just sit back and skirmish the enemy to death. He's got to make a move, and he's got to push up his infantry. So here we go. We got Miles the Terrible pushing up his very fancy cav, and it looks like he's going for my cav. This is where I'm like, nope, I'm going to retreat because I'm too close to enemy archers. But unfortunately, we got a couple lazy slackers over here who just I guess they don't sense the urgency to get out of there. So they're gonna take their time. They're gonna, you know what? They're like, you know what? You guys run ahead. We're gonna walk. So now they're gonna get cut down. I don't know what happened there. It's just they're stubborn. But whatever. They're dead now. I don't have to worry about them. I am gonna turn around my cav and engage the enemy. Unfortunately, I guess I misclicked and they're not charging in. But the elves are kind of doing the same thing. He's got the opposite of my problem. He's got some very eager soldiers that are charging into a very outnumbered situation. So this is a pretty much an even trade right here. He's killing some of my cav. I'm killing some of his cav. And that's really all that comes about from this engagement. We do have my ally, Synn of the Dark Cloud. He's pushing up some cav. I was hoping he would continue to commit, but he's pretty smart about it, and he's going to fall back. And again, he doesn't need to kill my cav. It's more just protect his archers from our archers, you know, from getting charges in. But yeah, the elves are firing their bows, and they're already underway trying to soften up the defenses. He does have some infantry in the front here. He's got his spears. He's got his army really blobbed up. I'd really try to, you know, spread them out because we do have some fine archers over on our side. They may not be elves, but they are Númenóreans, Black Númenóreans. This is the Shadow Guard, Synn of the Dark Clouds unit right here. Doing some nice volleys, getting some nice volleys, and getting some nice kills. So there you go, the Eldarian Way archers are finally lining up. He's got 2 archers here. He also has 2 units of archers over on this side. We do have a very nice location for these Shadow Guard up on this hill. Very nice position. So they're going to fire down, get some good shots. Unfortunately, a lot of the arrows are going into the ground, but I would say about half, maybe a little bit more than half of the arrows flying overhead. You got to watch out for that kind of stuff because you don't want to waste your ammo on, you know, just firing into the dirt. Like, come on, guys. Come on. Mindless Shadow Guard. But they're good at fighting. They're just not that smart, I guess. And here comes a charge from the elves. They're committing some infantry. Again, they realize that they do not have a lot of time. So Miles is going to try to quickly get his infantry into the fight. And this great siege battle, infantry-wise, has begun. Over on the other side, he is actually falling back his shield guard. Oh yeah, look at all those arrows pouring in, just ripping the shield guard apart. So he lost a lot here. Like, I would say about 50, 60 men. So he's going to try to fall back, try to save the rest of them. They're still in the line of sight of those elven archers. But I sent over some of my own archers. I got some Temple Guard, which are very good. They're a very nasty unit. They're good at, of course, shooting their bows and fighting in melee. There's that volley coming down, focusing down the Shadow Guard. This is where I decided to get my men into loose formation. And I'm not trying to win the skirmish here. I like how this orc is just like mindlessly walking by. I don't know, it's funny to me. I'm not trying to win the skirmish here. I'm just trying to get the elves to waste their ammo. And of course, I am trying to get some kills, you know, while I'm, you know, trying to get the elves to waste their ammo. But again, I didn't even think I was gonna win. So I'm really just trying to get them to waste their ammo. Alright, so the elves are now advancing up some spears. You can see he lost a lot of great soldiers here. Lots and lots of great soldiers. So the runic forces are gonna go ahead and advance. I think he's already going because of how far he has to march. So I don't think it's quite been 10 minutes, maybe close to 10 minutes. We did fast forward a little bit, so we do have to, you know, account that. But yeah, Rune is gonna go ahead and advance and try to begin his reinforcement assault, the counter assault against the elves. And we got a great fight here with the elves and the Black Númenóreans, the shield guard, who are desperately holding this choke point. And it's so important that we do not lose a single choke point because if the elves break through one of these, then obviously the other choke points are going to break very quickly. We also have more fighting going on at this choke point. So it's so cool to see the good versus evil. It's so obvious. You got the nice golden blue armor, and then we got the black and silver. It's just fantastic. Lots of arrows. Look at this formation I got here. Super long, super spaced out, loose formation. That's going to make it so my guys last a very long time in this skirmish. Now over here, I finally pushed up my army. They're forming up a shield wall. I don't really want to fight the elves here. I'm just saying, hey, elves, you're not coming this way. Because I got troops, you're not going to flank around. This is not going to happen. The elves do have some spears kind of looking the other way, just making sure I don't advance upon their formation. He also has some Eldarin Way Lancers ready to protect in case he has to charge in his cav. Now for Miles, I think he should have spread out his archers here a little bit. He's really got them blobbed up, and there are some benefits of having your formation like this, like a tight formation with your archers. You can really focus down on one area. But the bad thing is that the enemies can focus down on you. So he's got a huge blob of about 3 groups of archers, 3 units. So he's got to be careful there because he's losing a lot. So let's see what's going on this side. The archers, they're trying. Oh, I don't think he should waste his ammo on that. He's trying to take out the archers up here. He amazingly was able to sneak in some Imladris cavalry to actually silence the Númenórean Shadow Guard. So that's actually pretty huge. He's going to silence them so they can't fire upon the elves who are slowly but surely breaking their way through this choke point. Let's see what's going on the other side. Let's see how the defense against Arnor is going. And we'll see here that Arnor's finally, nothing yet, but they finally got their army. Look at this massive Arnorian force. He's got the Trebuchet and everything pushing forward. You can just see them. They're almost like camouflage. Look at that. That looks so cool. This is a really cool map, guys. It looks awesome. Oh my god, this Arnorian army is precious. They are glorious. Alright, so he's got his formation. Yeah, I think he's finally going to begin his assault. And again, we got to hold here. Oh, the catapults. That's going to be brutal. Such a great army to focus catapults on. But yeah, we got to hold here because if Arnor breaks through and helps the elves, it's going to be a big issue. Now, I don't have any forces here defending. It's mostly just Synn of the Dark Cloud. Here's the first charge, though, from the infantry. And then we got another. Oh, man, this is just a legendary battle, guys. It's so cinematic. It's so awesome. So many cool units. Here comes another unit of some men at arms. He is using some fire arrows. I guess he's trying to break the enemy here. The shield guard are in shield wall formation. Are they going to charge in? There they go. It's more of a trot, you know, like a little jog into battle. That's all right. Wouldn't really call that a charge. So we got both units of men-at-arms engaging the shield guard. The shield guard have tons, just rows and rows of troops. And look at this, they're actually breaking through. They're doing a good job of pushing back the shield guard. So Arnor begins their assault, and the elves also begin theirs as well. Let's see what's going on here. This is a bit of a mess, but Synn of the Dark Cloud setting up some Temple Inquisitors. They're going to try to close in on this cav. Most of the cav is dead by now. He's got about 2 men left. But he did his job. He silenced those archers. He actually killed most of the Shadow Guard here. Now the archers can really focus down, kill a big blob of the Temple Inquisitors. But they're really thinning out here. I think at this point I realize that my ally is kind of thinning on that front. Let's see. Oh, we got some cav moving forward. Synn of the Dark Cloud moving in his mounted Númenórean shield guard. Now the elves are actually with their spears, but they're actually technically right in front. So that he's going to charge in his cav and just butcher those archers. But he needs to pull out pretty quickly. Yep, just like that, exactly. So he did his job. He went in, butchered those elves, and he's going to fall back. And the archers are going to fire down. I think these are my archers. Yeah, I've got some of my Shadow Guard. Númenórean Shadow Guard, such an epic name. I love the weather too. It's just like end of the world, the weather. It's so great. Definitely feels like a Temple to Melkor. Alright, so I do have my cav. I'm actually setting my cav inside here. I'm gonna use them to patch up some of the defenses here. Synn of the Dark Cloud has his Temple Inquisitors Inquisitors. They are defending the choke point. He does have his Shadow Grave kind of firing at the flank of the infantry that are trying to clean up these Númenórean shield guard. Oh man, I just love seeing the endless amount of arrows. It's great. I mean, this was a really fun battle, guys. And this is part of the Reforged mod, so this is not something you have to download separately. It's in your mod, so if you guys want to play this in the future, be sure to do that with some friends. And I just want to remind you guys that there is a Discord that you can join for these battles in case you're looking for people to play with. Definitely check that out. Links down below. So getting some good volleys here with the Shadow Guard. Front line, the Shield Guard, of course, protecting them. Now the shield wall is going to really protect them from enemy arrows. You got to be careful with these Shadow Guard. I mean, they are tough. Very tough. And most of his archers are dead, mostly because of that cav charge. But they got to be careful. They got to watch their flank, because here comes Rune, the great golden army, about to close in. He does have some back reserves here. He's got his Imladris Guard, which is a crazy strong pike unit. They're going to do a great job of protecting the flank, but he doesn't really have an answer to the archers of Rune. He's got to watch out for the archers. He's kind of outnumbered in that category, which makes things very difficult, especially when you're kind of, you know, defending a hill here. If you're outgunned in skirmish capabilities, you're going to get chewed up. Let's head back over to this side where the fight is... Oh, look at this. Oh, this is pretty cool. So we kind of missed it, but look at this fight right here. I love seeing the shield guard just charge down. So Arnor... Oh, nice hit there. Arnor, very smart about this. He struggled with this first assault. You know, that infantry he charged in first, they got butchered. They just couldn't handle it. So Arnor was like, you know what? Why should we charge in infantry when we got the archers and the Trebuchet? Let's just hold back our infantry and then fire our archers. And Synn of the Dark Cloud, he wasn't having that. So he went ahead and charged in his infantry. And now engaging some Dunedain Rangers, battle-ready Dunedain, and some Dunedain Warriors. But yeah, look at that. That was such a cool downhill charge. And the archers are focusing down Arnor's army. I don't know what it is about the Arnorian army. It's just, or armor. It's just so awesome. I guess it's just when you first start up Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship, and you begin with that fight at, you know, the Last Alliance. It's just so legendary. I think Arnor's got the coolest armor. I mean, come on. Not even Gondor can beat that. That is just too much. The blue. The nice steel plate armor. So this great assault here. Arnor just pushing up as many troops as humanly possible. Trying to slowly cut down the shield guard. They continue to get just hit hard from the enemy catapult, and they're doing everything they can. I mean, they don't really have a choice here. They just got to cut through these guys. Once they do, they can maybe charge up some cav and eventually cut down the archers and the catapults that's left over. But hopefully he doesn't lose too many in the process of doing so. But lots of arrows flying through the air right now. Just tons of arrows on both sides too. Let's head back over to the other side where Rune is slowly but surely, here they come, guys. Rune is advancing on the elvish position, the elven position. And they're chopping them down, and that's going to be it for that choke point. So Rune here to save the day. They have not approached this formation here yet. The elves are desperately trying to break through. Now, okay, so if we look at the elven assault here, and this is not like any kind of like, let me explain myself here a little bit better. What the elves could have done better, and this is not like an attack on the player. Remember, these custom scenarios we played once or twice. It's easy to be a backseat gamer, but if you look at the bridge, I think the elves should have left like 4 or 5 units with a couple archers. It's tough to sacrifice archers when you need them in the front line, but if you left a couple troops back here to try to slow down Rune, I think it would have been a little bit better of a situation. He probably could have killed more. Now, would have the elves won this battle, this little fight on this side? I don't think so. I think the elves are just meant to die in this scenario. Really, the player just has to kill as many as he can so Arnor can clean up the rest. Now, to give Miles credit, I don't think he knew. Like, sometimes there's rules where you can't defend the choke points of, like, reinforcement armies, because it's kind of like to represent, like, oh, I didn't know they were showing up as reinforcements, so we weren't prepared for it, so you can't properly defend against the reinforcements. But I think in this scenario, for, like, if we're in immersion sake, you can say that the Elven scouts reported you know, a reinforcement force, and they can go ahead and defend this bridge or something like that. I think that would have been pretty cool, but yeah, the elves just didn't, they were not ready for this assault. And we even have, yeah, we got the shadow bows, Kamul's shadow bows. It's one of the Nazgul there, but yeah, he's gonna fire it down. We do have some of my cav moving in, trying to support this massive cav engagement. Arnor sent over some of their knights to aid them in this situation, but it's not gonna be enough. I mean, you might be able to take out Rune's cav, but you know, with the support of my cav now, it's gonna be pretty tough for the elves. Yeah, the Brotherhood of the Lance now charging in. It's just a mosh pit of cav fighting for the flank of the Elven army. Got a nice little duel here. Come on, men versus elves. We got more Elven cav, Eldar and Way Nobles. They're charging in, supporting Arnor. So the Cav's actually holding on the Elven Cav, but now we got the infantry support from Rune. And it's not like the elves can send in infantry support. It's not like they can sacrifice any infantry to go back to the back flanks. It's almost like the elves should just like fall back here and just hold or something. Like, I don't know, it's just so tough for them. It's a very challenging position. Now we got some fighting going over here. The elves actually decided to charge in, but they are getting surrounded. They were just outnumbered, outpositioned, and there's really not much they could have done about it. There's a small engagement over on this side as well. So there's actually a lot of stuff going on this front. But really, we got the last stand of the Imladris Storm Guard. We're about to be hammered and anviled by the Mounted Temple Inquisitors. So a deadly cav there. So yeah, these guys are gonna break pretty soon. He was able to sneak in some of his Elven cav. Got the Eldar and Way Nobles. I think they're gonna try to get around the forces here. I sent in my Temple Guard because they used up all their ammo. Just trying to clean up some of the Elven spears. Uh-oh. Here comes this cav. Going for the Shadow Guard, this really deadly archer unit. Not the best charge, but he is going to be able to engage. Or no, he's going to go for the hammer and anvil. He's going to go behind the forces fighting here. Oh man, what a charge. Beautiful. That should help his spears, but it's not going to win him the fight. I do have some cav. If we look back here, I'm actually somewhere around, I don't know what's going on. Never mind. We'll go back to this fight where the Imladris Storm Guard taking on a ton of my Shield Guard, which are considered a heavy infantry. But this Storm Guard is really good, guys. So even though we have them kind of surrounded, it's going to be brutal. I think we mostly killed this unit. Oh, we killed the Elven General. There he goes. That was okay. So that's what I wanted to show you. I actually was able to send some of my Númenórean Shield Guard, my mounted Númenórean Shield Guard, to flank around to counter his flank. And that's how we cut down the Elven General. Their morale is going to deteriorate right now because obviously their general is dead, their army is dead, and all hope is dead for the elves. But it's not hopeless for the attackers because Arnor is still alive. Oh, look at these guys. Are these like the officers? Sindar Blade Masters. That's awesome. Cool unit there. They look awesome. So a great fight, but a pretty obvious fight. You can see they're almost like surrounded. Synn of the Dark Cloud, he has some Númenórean Shield Guard about to charge in and close in with the final blow. If you I guess you could say. Rune is now advancing forward with the rest of his army. Finally, reinforcements have arrived, so Rune can now focus his attention against what's left of Arnor. But we did lose a lot taking on the elves. The elves took out a bit of our force, so we don't have quite as much to take on Arnor. If we see the progress of Arnor, they're making great progress. They're able to take out this catapult position, but I'm pretty sure this catapult used up all its ammo. And Arnor, unfortunately, was not able to get over to the elves quick enough before Rune. And I really can't blame him, because that is a very tricky situation. There goes one of the Shadow Guard, the last Shadow Guard defending this choke point. And finally, Arnor has a minor victory, but there's still so much to accomplish. And now they can storm the streets. Words are hard, guys. Storm the streets and try to burn down this Temple of Melkor. But remember, the main objective is right here, which is pretty tough. It's really tough to get. You got this long ramp. You also have some choke points over into these buildings here, so it's gonna be challenging. Now, if you look at the minimap, I'm pretty like this is it right here. I do have some leftover troops who survived the Elven battle, but I'm definitely a lot less on troops. So the elves, unfortunately, are not gonna see if they are victorious. If the attacking side is victorious, unfortunately, the elves are not gonna be able to witness it, because they are butchered and dead, no longer on the battlefield. And there's the cheer, the great cheer from the Númenóreans, the Black Númenóreans, who are corrupted by Melkor. There we go, cheer. Enjoy it, boys, enjoy it. You fought well, you fought hard. Now Rune is also marching up his army. I think there's one unit of the elves left. And this is brutal, guys. This is just cruel. Instead of actually fighting the Imladris Guard, he's gonna just execute them with archers, which I think Rune could have very easily just flank around and just surround him with infantry. I'm charging in some of my cav just for the fun of it. This unit's pretty low. It's got like a couple units left, or a couple men left, I should say. So I'm just charging them in, just trying to sneak up behind, get some kills. Honestly, I'm probably losing more of my cav to friendly fire than the elves killing me. That's a ton of arrows coming in. Look at that. That is just devastating. Though I would say that this is probably a waste of ammo. Again, I think he could have just surrounded them with infantry. Even though this is a crazy strong unit, he could have taken care of it just by using his numbers. Let's head back over to the other side of the map, where Arnor is going to continue to advance. So Arnor is continuing their advance to the Temple of Melkor, the streets of the Temple of Melkor. And this is where I was like, you know what? This is sacred ground. Sacred to the great fallen angel of Melkor. We can't just let our enemies march through here and burn it down. We gotta protect some of the sacred buildings here. So I decided to leave my defensive post and advance and take on the attacking forces in the streets of the Temple of Melkor. So I've got some Númenórean shield guard. They're gonna try to quickly advance and hold this choke point. It's also a very strategic location. I mean, it's a street here. Now there is another way to get around. So actually, let's watch this charge here from the infantry. He's got a small unit of men at arms. They're very tired. They're down to 51 or 71 men. They're not gonna be a big deal. There goes the charge, and this is where I formed the battle line. But I do have some infantry. I think there they go. They're gonna advance down this way as well, so I'm gonna try to sneak behind Arnor and maybe attack him on the flank. He's gonna, see, I was really hoping to close in the gap here, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen, so hopefully, Happy Meal, he doesn't realize that I'm sending infantry down the streets, so I can try to surround and kill his forces. We'll see what happens next. The Great Temple of Melkor. Ah, Arnor looks so great, man. Also, these Black Númenóreans, they look cool too. Let's see what's happening. I know we made a cut there, but what's going on here? Yes, the Imladris Guard still fighting, taking on some Gamprim, some halberds of Harad, or Harad, or Rune. Sorry, Rune. Whatever, Harad, Rune. I know you guys get triggered if I call them the same thing, but they're pretty similar. I'm not gonna lie. I think Rune's a little bit more professional, I would say. I would be more afraid to fight Rune than Harad. But again, Harad has giant elephants and other beasts, so that would be kind of scary in its own right. But yeah, this is not, I don't even know why we're watching this. What is this? But yeah, Harad's marching through the streets. They're going to begin to help me defend the streets of Melkor. Melkor will be very happy and give them extra chicken legs if they're able to defend the streets. So I've got my 2 units of shield guard holding back this brave Arnorian force. Once again, this Men at Arms unit, they're so good at just ripping through these front lines. Look at, they're just pushing them back. Like it's a spear tip, just pushing through the defense. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I didn't want to just hold back and defend easy choke points. I wanted to go out there and fight and defend the streets. I am pushing up a catapult, and I think I've got some Olak High. No, not yet, not yet. My infantry is still not quite in place. I don't want to run them because I don't want them to be too tired for the battle. But unfortunately, Arnor is making a very wise decision here. He's flanking around some battle-ready Dunedain, so they're going to be attacking the flank. This is actually pretty cool. Like a couple soldiers try to slow down that charge, so we got like 3 shield guard who are protecting the flank of the main force that is holding the front line. So they're just kind of zoning them out, buying time. Look at slowly. This is why I love the Medieval 2 engine, because look at that. You would never see anything like this in Attila. There's a couple troops leave their posts and go defend the flank, and they formed a proper battle line here. It's not super thick or anything, but it's going to hold them back. Oh, what is this? We got the Dunedain Steel Bowmen? Yeah, Steel Bowmen. This is a new unit. Pretty cool new unit. They're going to go ahead and go up on this hill. Really good positioning for Arnor. Really good positioning, but here comes my infantry. Finally, I'm deciding to run them. I realize that things are not really going so hot over on this side. My infantry is starting to soften up. I'm losing a lot of men, but I am fighting a lot of men. I'm also killing a lot of men. I've got more infantry. Oh, nice. Got the Temple Inquisitors. So they're really, really good two-handed sword type unit. So they're going to support that front line because we are getting outnumbered and outflanked. And finally, my infantry is here. And it's now time to advance upon the enemy and support that main front line. This was like my favorite part of the siege right here. It was so cool to see a fight in the inner streets. Like, this is a courtyard within the city. I think it's pretty cool. He's got his Dunedain Wardens. It's a nice spear unit. That's also a pretty new unit there, at least to me. So Arnor forming up. They will fight. They want to burn down the buildings of Melkor. I do have another depleted unit of Shadow Guard. Númenórean Shadow Guard. They're winded, but they got to get to the fight. They got to help protect that front line. This unit can easily get outflanked by all the thousands of men at arms of Arnor that could easily flank around. There we go. He's got his archers up here. He's got multiple units of archers, 2 units of the Dunedain Steel Bowmen. 1 unit's got a fantastic location who's firing down at my troops as they continue to advance and try to get to that front line in the courtyard of the Temple of Melkor. Oh, and we got a catapult coming in. That is risky business right there, guys, because he can easily butcher his own men. But no, he gets a good shot, takes out a ton of my own troops, and that's going to really hurt the morale of my forces. And look at that massive... Oh, here comes another shot. That's the Trebuchet, too. The Trebuchet accuracy is not that great, at least compared to a catapult. The range is fantastic, but once again, the accuracy is not wonderful. So there goes, more shots coming in. Wasn't able to get any hits there. But it is softening up my forces, and Arnor is just slowly pushing back our troops. Pikemen. Oh, now we got some dismounted Dunedain Knights taking on my Shadow Guard. My Shadow Guard are pretty good at fighting in melee, but compared to the dismounted Dunedain Knights, they don't really stand a chance, so I need to send in some reinforcements. I do have some troops over here. I've got the Olog High. Unfortunately, I was not paying attention, and the archers were just butchering not butchering them, but weakening them. So the Olog High, they're finally in position though, and we've got more Númenórean shield guard fighting for this. Remember guys, I don't want them to burn down this temple. This is sacred ground. We fight for it. We fight and die for it. So awesome of a fight though. This is just epic. I really enjoyed this siege battle. Oh, there goes another volley. Oh, he's going for the back ranks. Look at it burning this great holy temple of holiness. Ooh, we got Rune. They've got some shadow bows. Not firing just yet. It could be just glitched out a little bit. Oh, the poor lone soldier who dies. That's unfortunate. Jim, no! I told you to stay closer to us. Here comes another volley. Let's see if it kills any more. Yes, it does. 2 in the front, 1 in the back. Cool. My numbers are thinning though. I had to send in my my temple guard, the temple inquisitors. Oh man, Arnor looks so cool, advancing on my army. Here's the Olog High. They're now trying to support this thin line of infantry, and the more I fight for this position, the more I lose defending troops, and it might not be worth trying to save the sacred buildings of the Temple of Melkor. There we go, more archers firing down. Oh, we got a nice archer battle here between Rune and the Dunedain. We got the Narim, very elite golden archers of the runic army, just trying to fight back against those archers as we send in more and more reinforcements. See, I've got some temple guard. I've got a lot of the troops who fought against the elves now joining the fight in the center. Oh god, they're getting butchered, guys. We also have some cool units from Rune joining the fight. He's got some shadow guard. Kamul's shadow guard. Kamul. So Kamul, and I'm sure I'm mispronouncing his name. So if you do know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. But he's actually one of the Nazgul. I said that before, but he's from Rune. I believe he was a king of Rune, and then he was corrupted by one of the rings. And yeah, I think he actually had a lot of. He was responsible for converting Rune to support Sauron. I could be mistaken, but at least that's what I remember from the lore. So you can blame him for Rune going to the bad side. Yeah, look at these Olog High though. Just punching their way through these forces. And they're actually doing a really good job. I mean, I'm quite surprised that they're still around. Most of them are still fighting after being shot down by so many arrows. But how are we holding here? Only just. Only just. There's now a thin line. The Trebuchet is feeling more and more confident. I do have archers, or at least, no, that's Rune. Rune has some shadow bows that are firing down. Now that most of my troops are dead, I think he feels a little bit better that he won't get friendly fire. So he's going to try to use up some of his ammo and kill some of the Arnorian infantry. So I did my best to try to protect the sacred buildings of the Temple of Melkor, but I don't think it's going to happen here today. I do have more reinforcements coming in. This is a small unit, 36 men of Temple Guard. They just want to kill some foes. They just want to have some fun. And unfortunately, most of my Olog High are starting to fall. They're starting to die to the great pikemen of Arnor. And the archers, man, they're just butchering my infantry as they continue to charge in. A great position with the archers. He's got some Dunedain bodyguard. I think this is his general. Yeah, that's actually his general. You can see him right there in the red. And the skirmish is still underway. Rune is just getting massacred against those really elite Dunedain steel bowmen. He's down to a small unit of 14, but look at all the troops he butchered. Just devastating. Rune has a lot of reserves here though, and my army's pretty low at this point. This is pretty much it for my army, so I decided, like, okay, no more. I'm not gonna send any, like, sure, we want to defend the sacred buildings of the Temple of Melkor, but we also want to win. That's a little bit better than trying to defend and, you know, losing everything and losing the battle. So I decided to, you know, this is it. This is it for the troops I'm sending forward. They fought for the sacred buildings. I was hoping Rune would send in some infantry to support me, but I think he wants to be a little bit more conservative with his defense and let the enemy push in a little bit more. But they're just cleaning up what's left of my my shield guard, which is not that much. And the fight here is almost a for sure victory because my Olag High, they're down to 1 Olag High. Let us remember the Olag High as they fought bravely against such numbers. We are down to 1. Unfortunately, the Olag High are an endangered species. But Sauron continues to put armor on them and send them into battle. Oh my god, that's awful. Yeah, no, we will just watch until this brave Olag High just kicking people, man. I think yeah, that's the guy he kicked. He's like, oh my god. He can go back home and tell stories to his children. If he lives in this battle, he can go back home and tell stories to his grandchildren of what it feels like to be kicked by an Olag High. Not good. Not good. I can't believe he's still alive, though. Still alive and doing well. Kicking butt, taking names. You know, honestly, I was kind of hoping he would die by now because I want to kind of look at other parts of the battle. So we might just move along. But I kind of want to see him die. Come on. Kill him, Arnor. Alright, that's it. We'll give it 5 seconds. Alright, we're moving. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Rest in peace. Alright, so what's left of this force is just a couple troops. They won in the courtyard, they won in the streets, and they're now advancing to the next army. And look at this. Rune has set up a nice defense here. Also, he's got some Brotherhood of the Axe just kind of waiting in reserve. Should be interesting what happens here. If I am Arnor, I would be super, what's the word? Passive? Not passive, but like, I would really take my time here because you had a great victory, took out a ton of my forces, cleaned up the troops, didn't really lose too much. Now they're gonna push up the Trebuchet and try to fire it down. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean by being passive, taking your time, being conservative, using your archers, using your equipment. Instead of just mindlessly charging an infantry, fire down their defenses a little bit. I mean, if he's gonna group up his forces like this, do it. Now he does have some infantry charging on this side though. The battle-ready unit, it's a small unit. There goes Rune. Oh, there we go. Yep, there we go. The Trebuchet is firing down. Excellent, excellent. And this is perfect for the Trebuchet because it's got a pretty good angle around the corner of this building. You definitely get some good hits. Hopefully Arnor doesn't just charge any infantry though. We do have some archers coming down. We think we got a lot of, yep, we got a lot of archers. Oh, jeez, Rune, most of your shots are going through the, come on guys, just, oh, what was that? Yes, a really good hit there. You can see the aftermath. One lucky runic Easterling guy survives that. He's not too phased, but he's walking over all of his brothers here. Oh, and more. Just another excellent hit. Just butchering this unit. And this is such a good unit. That Trebuchet is really just an excellent tool. Almost gets some friendly fire there, but that was just so devastating. And I think he's, oh, another good hit. Another good hit. And there goes more of the runic forces. Arnor's looking pretty right here. They're making some great progress. Oh, another. This is insane, guys. I mean, these are the kind of hits that you see from catapults, not Trebuchet. Fantastic use of the Trebuchet. Now he's got to send up more infantry, though, because his pikemen are going to get surrounded. Ooh, that one was some friendly fire. That one was not as pretty. So the pikes, they're going to suffer some morale there. They're going to lose some morale. He's got archers. He's got his Dunedain bodyguard. The general just kind of like, keep firing. I see, if I was a general, I'd be in an archer unit, because then you can just sit back and just act like you're being tough, you know? Like, I'm in the front lines, just commanding my men to fire their bows. Another good hit there, killing mostly Easterlings. My goodness. He should definitely send up infantry, though. definitely needs to send up infantry. Rune is winning on this side now, so now they're actually gonna try to push back against that Trebuchet. I think they see an opportunity to try to catch it off guard, but thankfully Arnor realizes what he's doing, and he's gonna pull back his Trebuchet, getting them back to safe. Whoa, what was that charge? Okay, so Rune can actually charge in and knock up troops. I think I've seen the dwarves do that too. That was actually pretty cool. I've never seen that before. I don't know if that was a glitch or what. So, oh man, it's so cool seeing the steel bowmen. Oh, there's another good hit, killing 2 of them there. The steel bowmen, they've got their bows in their backs now, taking out a great sword. Swinging it around, fighting in the front lines. The pikes are still alive, but only just. They're surrounded. They can still survive this one. They can actually fall back and try to support the front line over in the street. Alright, so let's zoom out here. Let's see what the reserves of the forces. This is actually pretty funny as well. If we look right here, look at this. I got a lone temple guard right here, a temple inquisitor. He is left, and I didn't even realize it at the time. Neither did the Arnorian player. So he's just gonna sit here and just kind of like observe the enemy. It's just kind of like Arnor is so amazed by this creature slash evil man thing. Like, what is it? Is it gonna surrender? Can we poke it with a stick? What is he doing? And he's standing over a dead Dunedain. Yeah, it's like he's protecting this. Oh, they're so territorial. They're so, look at him. It's like a zoo or something. If he was behind the fencing, oh, check him out. I don't know what he's doing. I actually have another lone temple guard. Yeah, look at guys, another lone temple guard. It's amazing. They don't break. So, oh, he's gonna join the fight though, because the enemy's getting in the way. Look at him. He's getting some kills. He's like, nope. I may die here today, but I'm taking out as many as I can. This is where he's gonna get gangbanged though. He's just surrounded. He's gonna get stabbed multiple directions, but he's not gonna go out without a fight. This is what we dream of right here, guys. I love these kind of situations, especially in Medieval 2, because like in Attila, there's a lot of like 1v1 kind of stuff going on. Like it's very Hollywood. But Medieval 2, the Ancient works more realistically, where multiple soldiers can be attacking at once instead of just 1 versus 1. So it's kind of really cool to see stuff like this in Medieval 2 and mods. Come on, man. Keep up the good fight. I like it how it does the sound effect of as if there's like hundreds of troops fighting right here. Oh, nice slide. Oh, there he goes. Rest in peace. He got 1. You know, at least he didn't get 0. Oh, and then I'm sending in the other one. Go in, man. Okay, we should really be focusing on this main fight. We'll go back to him. He fights for a while. Don't worry. Alright, so they killed him, and he's actually going to fall back. The cool thing about this building is you can fight inside the building. You can actually go through the walls. So he's gonna use that to get back into safety. And Arnor continues to fight here. The Trebuchet firing at the buildings, putting some holes into the buildings. This main line continues on. So epic with that Trebuchet firing. Getting some good hits in the back there. That Trebuchet, dead accurate. I've never seen a Trebuchet so accurate. Oh, there we go, getting more kills, guys. This guy, though, he's on a roll. I mean, yes, he's killing archers, but hey, at least he's killing something, right? So he's just gonna do the twirls. See, that kind of attack is acceptable there, because there's only enemies all around you. So twirling around mindlessly with your greatsword. There goes another one. Oh my god, this guy's twitching out, man. Shouldn't have had those shrooms. What's going on? And then he's tiny. So we were actually playing, and we were all chatting on Discord when we were playing this battle. And I kept talking about it, but Joey didn't realize what was going on until much later. But I kept talking about this lone temple inquisitor that's just getting tons of kills. Look at him go. He's butchered like 5 of these archers now. Keep it up, man. I think this is really where oh, there goes another one. He's bugging out. Take you out of your mercy. Take you out of your misery, I mean. So, yeah, I know this is not the most exciting thing, but I thought it was very funny. Something I've never really seen, but finally, there we go. I think he finally told his men, oh, rest in peace. He did well. He did well. God, the champions of Sauron, man. The champions of Melkor. Awesome stuff. Maroon is thinning out of infantry. He lost a lot here to the enemy Trebuchet, but he still has a ton, which are now advancing upon the position. He does have infantry protecting the flank. Arnor, he's got 3 men here. I don't know why. But Arnor's actually got a small force that he might try to engage the back lines of Rune. So we'll head back here as this fight continues on. Arnor's in a pretty good spot. He's kind of surrounding the runic forces. You can see it's like a U shape around them. So that should chop them up pretty quickly. Unless Rune sends up more reinforcements. But I want to show you something that's really cool. You know what? I'll keep it a surprise. You'll see later. I wanted to kind of surprise you guys. So I'll wait. I'll explain later after it happens. So it's up to Rune to protect these streets, the sacred streets of Melkor, the Temple of Melkor. Of course, like I said earlier, I am not going to send any more reinforcements down this way. It's too important. I need to have some kind of force to defend the town center. Which, by the way, guys, the town center is, I believe... Is there even a town center? I don't think... Technically, this is not a siege because there's no town center. Really, they've got to kill my general. But I'm not going to, like, run around with my general. I'm just going to keep him here. So, technically, this is the town center. And I need to have something here defending it. Now, I do have a small force located right here. They're going to put up a... this is too good of a choke point to just leave. So, I've got 1 unit of shield guard, 1 unit of shadow guard, and a catapult. Just to put up some kind of defense. Hopefully Arnor gets a little lazy and groups up his forces once he breaks through Rune, if he breaks through Rune. But it is looking like Arnor is going to break through Rune. I mean, they've really butchered them. Really, and look at all the reserves here. He's got a lot of infantry, guys. I mean, this battle is far from over. I think that's it for reserves. Yeah, that's pretty much it for reserves. So he's got a lot. This is a ton of troops that we got to be careful of. He is now finally beginning to march this way. He's got his Dunedain Knights, which is a very tough unit. They're going to go ahead and put some pressure on the back flank of Rune. Rune has some halberds and some shield and sword infantry. He also has some support of these archers, which are currently putting down some volleys on the advancing Arnorian infantry. Oh. We also have these archers putting up their final stand. Come on, fire Rune. Come on, Arnor, charge those archers, please. Don't just let them shoot at you at the flank. I guess they are just gonna run right past them. They're more concerned about the infantry. All right. To destroy the Temple of Melkor. Oh, there we go. He sent over some pikes. Alright, so the battle for the flank is underway. He is sending more and more infantry, so that should be enough, maybe enough to take out that defense. And now, finally, Arnor is just beating up this infantry. These guys will not quit, though, even though they're completely surrounded in an ocean of Arnorian troops. Yeah, they're getting butchered right now. But Arnor, look at this. Look at this. They're not sending more. They're going to give that up. They're going to give up that position and let Arnor break through. We're going to ×2 speed it. Just for, just for the flow of the battle. I mean, it's pretty obvious that Rune, what's fighting here, they're going to lose. So we can go ahead and just kind of skim through this. Do ×6 speed. We do have some arrows coming down, so this is actually a pretty good spot for arrows. There we go. Nice. Rune's still alive, though. Arnor's just going to run right past him. I think he wants to support the infantry that's fighting over here. So he really wants to support this assault. And check this out, guys. I mean, they are butchering this army. I mean, I think Arnor is outnumbered here, but they are killing this runic force. Look at all the dead runic forces. The Easterlings. Which, by the way, both terms are correct. I remember someone was like complaining that I said runic instead of Easterling, but technically it's the same. Like they both work. anyways, besides the point, I do have some archers up here. I've got a really cool position. This is pretty awesome. Look at this. My shadow guard, they're gonna fire down there. I'm using fire arrows because I'm trying to light the trebuchet on fire. And also it looks really cool, so there's that. Okay, so more and more Arnor forces are pushing up. Ready to engage, just a little blockade from Rune. There they go. Another infantry fight underway. More arrows coming down, trying to kill the incoming Arnorian troops. They're trying to get their oh, look at this, out of nowhere, through the walls. In comes the invasion force. That is what I was going to talk about right there. I just wanted to surprise you there a little bit. We got more troops running through the walls. So this was a really cool ambush that I wanted to tell you about it, but I kind of wanted it to be a surprise. You can actually run through the walls there, which is a little unfair because I don't think Arnor was really expecting that. But that was a really cool assault there by Trebuchet, and that was awesome. Just like they used their invisible cloaks. I don't know, it's just really cool to see them run through the walls, almost as if Sauron or Melkor did some spell or some, I don't know, just it's fantasy, so you can make up your own stuff, I guess. But yeah, that was awesome. That was like my favorite part of the battle. When I saw that, I was like, oh man, that's awesome. But now he's trying to protect his trebuchet of the ambushing Brotherhood of the Axe. The Brotherhood of the Axe. I mean, that's a pretty funny name, and I can just think of like these soldiers are in this almost like a company where they just worship the axe. You know, they train their whole lives with axes, and they're the Brotherhood of the Axe. We got another Brotherhood of the Axe flanking around, trying to surround this trebuchet. I'm pretty sure the trebuchet crew ran away. He's now setting up some Dunedain bodyguard, which are pretty good at melee. Also, they got little sacks here. Look at that. They hold like their food and stuff. More fire arrows coming in. So Rune is just putting down another great defense. And poor Arnor just not able to break through. If we head back this way, Arnor is making progress, but I think Rune sent up more reserves. So this fight is at a bit of a standstill. Great struggle right here, but they continue to cook. Look at this, they're cooking some food. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're burning bodies. I don't know what's going on here. Something evil, you know, something evil Melkor would do, like burn little babies or something. I don't know. That's pretty dark, but I can see it. You know, they're evil people. But yeah, they've got something. Maybe they're just cooking the nice bread, you know? They're cooking the nice bread. I don't know. They're making pizza. It doesn't have to be burning babies. But maybe that's how they worship. Like the Carthaginians. But I've heard some historian. I don't know if I should call them historians, but some people say that the whole Carthaginians burning babies is just like Roman lies. Like it's just made up to make them, you know, like subhuman. To make it a little bit easier to kill them on the battlefield. Because like, oh, these guys burn babies. Like they're messed up. I don't know why I'm still talking about burning babies, but we'll move on. This video's taken a weird turn. But the poor Arnorian infantry are surrounded. I'm pretty sure these units here are going to get cut down pretty easily. Unless the rest of the army could quickly move up and support this infantry force. But it's a pretty close battle. And my fire arrows are not burning any trebuchets anytime soon. But they look cool, and they look cool doing it. So you got to give them that. Takes them a while to fire. There they go. So Rune is, I think he's committing most of his army into this fight. Arnor is now sending in his more elite troops, and I think this is, I mean, all really Arnor has is elite troops at this point. Let's see if he can break through here. He sent up some battle-ready Dunedain to support this main fight. Rune is now making a push back, trying to use their great shields, their great numbers against Arnor, but this is actually pretty even of a fight. And I think once the battle-ready Dunedain get into the front line, this is going to be pretty challenging for Rune. They're really pushing them back, but I think Arnor has this one. I mean, the numbers are even, but the skill is in favor of Arnor, of all those battle-ready Dunedain. Let's head back over to this main fight, though, where Rune is really thinning out, guys. He's got the Dragon Wrath Guildsman. Dragon Wrath Guildsman. I don't know why, but these names kind of remind me of Elder Scrolls. Like these guilds and these companies and stuff. Fighters Guild. More fire arrows coming in. Trying to support Rune here a little bit. Again, I'm not sending up more troops. I want Arnor to push forward. Alright, so we're going to speed it up here a little bit because, again, this is not the most exciting thing. There's nothing tactical new here, or tactically new, or well, you know what I mean. There's nothing crazy going on tactics-wise. Arnor is breaking through Rune, though. The quality of troops is just too much. Arnor is breaking through Rune. The quality of troops is just too much for Rune, is what I'm trying to say. It's only a matter of time until they break through, and then they can begin to advance here. We do have some Temple Inquisitors. I'm probably butchering that name, but they're holding back. They're ready to defend the ramp that leads to Melkor's ultimate fantasy paradise land. That's just what I'm going to call this area. So that's going to be the last stand for the secondary defense, I guess you could say. I do have some cap here, so I guess technically I am committing forces. But look at this, the Mladris guards who were fighting Rune finally get over here. He's down to one man. We got a little fight going on here. Oh, come on, just take him out. Just poor elves, man. They're still on the battlefield. I can't believe it. The lone elf. You should just run until, you know, get more elven support. Fight another day, you know? There he goes, dead. My mountain Númenórean shield guard are victorious. Arnor is victorious and now advancing over the conquered dead here. Is this guy dead? Yeah, he's dead. He was a horse dude. So it looks like he's standing, but he's dead. So Arnor is going to advance. Arnor also is winning on this front, advancing and just surrounding Rune. Rune is breaking. They're putting up their final stand. So we'll do normal speed now. Okay, here we go. Here's the first charge from Joey. We got a pretty legendary battle between some elite units. Very similar units in terms of weaponry and uniforms. One's good, one's evil. More fire arrows going on in the background. Arnor really needs to spread out his men here. Maybe even try to push through this gap. He could probably try to get around the temple guard. And yeah, what's left of Rune is getting chopped up. And that's going to be it for that fight. We do have a small little battle here where my shield guard, finally the fight has begun here. My men have been eagerly waiting. My shadow guard putting down the pain. But unfortunately, he's got a ton of archers left. Oh, there goes the catapult and does not hit a single man. That is unfortunate. I swear, the Arnorian Trebuchet is more accurate than my catapult. But there goes Steel Bowmen. They are such a tough unit, and they're great. They're focusing down the catapult, which is what they need to do. But I'm going to continue to stand my ground. Oh, I kill some of my own men there, but I do get a good hit. Kill a couple. Could have been better. Come on, shield guard. You can do this. I love how these archers are just glitching out. Look at it, they're just standing there. Okay, so at this point I was like, okay, If he's just gonna sit back and look at all of the shadow guard he killed on my side, look at that. Just butchered them. So if he's just gonna sit back and do that, I'm just gonna walk away. I'm gonna walk away. So I'm not doing it right now. I thought I was, but eventually I decided to just give up this location because he's just got me outmatched. I mean, that archer force is just butchering my archers. My catapult, it's gonna be useless. I've only got a couple volleys, a couple shots from the catapult, and they're now trying to fire at some faraway target and just hitting the side of the mountain. So that's not a good sign. So I need to get them out of there. Okay, I thought they were gonna retreat soon, but I guess not. What are you doing, catapult? I think I'm trying to get the catapult closer. Alright, whatever. Let them die from arrows. Let's head back here where Arnor's still putting up the great fight. Archers now firing down. I believe this is my archer force. Supporting Synn of the Dark Cloud's heavy infantry. They're fighting for Melkor. They're fighting for the people. Alright, let's head back over to this fight. Or this fight is over. And again, Arnor is just trying to soften up my force. Finally I'm retreating my men. I'm getting my catapult out of there. Unfortunately, he killed some of my troll catapults. But I still have plenty to man this catapult so they can continue to fire at the enemy forces. And that's going to be it from that fight. It's pretty sad. I wasn't expecting such a great archer force. I am leaving my shadow guard behind. They have the honor of dying for Melkor in a very horrible way. My god, I'm down to 2 and this guy's bloodied up. He's in pain, his arm's shaking as he fires another arrow. Can't go on much longer. I'm just gonna leave him there. I think they're gonna group up because that's smart. That's a great idea, just group up and they're dead. They're like, one last embrace, dead. It's like they were gonna hug each other or something. There goes my shadow guard, just gone because of all those Arnorian archers. And the fight continues on here. And I see a great opportunity to flank around the Dunedain and the Arnorian men at arms. This is what's left of my cav. I got about 27 men here. But I see nothing protecting the flank of these guys, so I'm gonna go in for a nice hammer and anvil. Check this out, guys. Boom. Oh yeah, going flying and just butcher his infantry. Butchered them. So I'm gonna fall back, try to do one more. Unfortunately, he does have some pikemen in reserve and some archers. So I was feeling like I probably couldn't go for another charge. So I'm gonna disengage. Yeah, I'm gonna disengage. I wasn't feeling too comfortable with the archers and the pikemen. But that really helped out these temple guard, the heavy infantry, who are now focusing their attention against the pikemen, trying to charge them before they form up. Oh, this guy got wrecked! Just see that was awesome. He just did a twirly and just wrecked that pikeman unit. Pikeman guy, pikeman dude. But it's not like we're gonna win here. So eventually Arnor is going to be able to push through. And here comes his main force. And this is where we really set up our defense here, guys. This is where we got a couple archers. I've got some temple guard, Númenórean shadow guard. I do have my general. We also have the runic general. That's all he has left in his army. We do have some temple guard here, more archers. Oh, nice archer force. I've got about 1 unit of the shield guard. So not a ton of infantry, really just relying on my archers. And that's kind of what the attackers are doing too. They've got to rely on their archers, so it's going to come down to just a massive skirmish. But I think this is in our favor because of the positioning of this battlefield. He might have artillery, but we also have artillery. We're going to go ahead and fast forward here a little bit, guys. This has been a very long battle. Most of these scenarios are, which you guys really seem to enjoy, which is cool. But I do want to keep up the pace of the battle. Now, Arnor should, there we go, he's flanking around. That should break these Temple Inquisitors. It's an odd word for me, I don't know why. I've probably been saying it wrong this whole time. Dunedain bodyguard, oh my god, look at the two-handed axes, that's so cool. We also have some battle-ready Dunedain. 2 men. So yeah, they're gonna easily break through that defense. On this side, oh yes, here we go. Unleash hell upon the men who dare try to burn down the sacred Temple of Melkor. So he's got his Arnorian heavy archers. He's getting them really close to this opening. And I don't know if he meant to do that, but I'm gonna go ahead and just charge in my infantry. Like if you just keep getting them closer and closer, yeah, look it. He's super close. He's trying to fire back. My archers are gonna be able to clean these guys up because of the positioning, and my infantry is gonna be able to charge through this opening, or not. You know, maybe I don't charge in my infantry. Maybe I'm lying. Apparently, I am lying. All right, the pikes are moving forward. So finally, he's getting some infantry in the front line. Let's watch the archers' point of view. We got lots of archers up here defending the final stand of the Temple of Melkor. Things are looking good though, and it's like we're destroying our own temple. The troll catapult hitting this building, putting a huge chunk of, just breaking a huge chunk of this building away. There we go. Finally, I charge in my infantry. So charge in the infantry, take on the archers. Back to normal speed. More trebuchet fire coming down. And really, that's it for Arnor. He still has the steel bowmen. But yeah, his army, most of them died in the streets. Where we put up just an epic stand. He did break through the stand, but at what cost? And finally, Arnor wins here, but again, at what cost? And now we have some cav charging, and Synn of the Dark Cloud sending in what he has left. Charging into the archers. Awesome charge there. Yeah, really not much of a force. It's not like they're going to do much if they try to charge around. So this is really just it. And I think it's safe to say, based on the balance of power, this one is over. The defenders are going to be victorious. There's no way they're going to be able to cut down this defense. More archers fighting. I think he set up his trebuchet, which is getting some good hits. Oh, destroy that little tower there. That's my favorite tower, man. He's pretty upset about that. So I'm gonna try to fire as many volleys here. We're just gonna fast forward. Don't exit out of the video though. There's some pretty cool parts I want to show you in this fight, or at least part. But I'm butchering his archers. The infantry are charging out. I'm feeling very confident about this. Synn of the Dark Cloud sending in some archers. I set up a little trap here because he has pikemen. It's not like he really could have done anything, but Joey's sending in his pikes. Now I'm gonna flank around with the it's almost like they're camouflaged on the battlefield, but my shadow guard now surround the pikes. They're waiting up on this mountainside and just charges down. They're wavering, they're exhausted. They've seen too many of their brothers perish in today's fight, and they're not going to continue on for much longer. It's only a matter of time. I mean, they're wavering, so I guess they're just going to fight to the death. Here's a really cool Dunedain steel bowman making their final stand. Got more infantry pouring through the city here. My catapult trying to kill as many as they can at this location. This is a really cool spot of the battlefield, though. I really like this final stand. It looks really cool. The fact that the attackers have to run through these buildings to get to the town center is really cool. Where is my general, by the way? Oh, he's in the little structure. Here he is. His little goblin or orc. I think it was supposed to be a Nazgul, but he just put the general as an orc. We destroyed one of their trebuchet with the catapults. My spears are trying to clean up what's left of this heavy Arnorian archer unit. Here comes the infantry pouring in. They're going to engage the Dunedain steel bowmen. There's some troll catapults from Synn of the Dark Cloud. The trolls of the troll catapult. And yeah, that's just way too much for them. They're gonna fall back. They're gonna try to delay this victory as long as possible. Try to kill as many as they can. But it's just not gonna be enough. Pretty soon we do charge out our... Okay, check this out, guys. This is a really cool part. So we're doing... Okay, times 6 speed. We're gonna slow it down here. I'm charging... Remember, if my general dies here, it's game over. I'm charging this trebuchet, and look what happens. Nothing. What? Oh, no! My own catapult. Okay, okay. I almost killed my general. Look at, my general was right there. No, that's not my general. Where's my general? I don't know, but it almost killed him because it hit the unit. I thought that was from the trebuchet doing that. I was like, what? Trebuchet missed. This is different. But it was actually my own catapult. I even told them to stop firing at that catapult. They needed to get one more shot. And almost I lose this entire battle because I almost killed my own general. That's insane. There we go. There goes another general. The Arnorian general. He has fallen, and now the Cav's going to continue to push in and go for the victory here. He does have the steel bowmen, which are very tough, but we do have lots of Cav. I'm going to charge in my general. I was hoping my ally would charge in his general first, but that's okay. Here comes a nice hammer and anvil. There they go. So now we surround them. Yeah, it's looking pretty rough for these guys. And this is going to be a pretty nice victory for the defenders. We don't get to see that all the time, but I'm sure you guys will find something to complain about. Maybe like, oh, the good guys didn't win, but the bad guys always win, or something like that. It doesn't matter the outcome. It could be the defenders winning, but something about the video that it's not. No, I'm just kidding. It's just a small minority. There's always that one person that doesn't like something about the video, which is fine. But yeah, the defenders win. A great defensive victory. Very cool. I really enjoyed this map. It's such an awesome map. Synn of the Dark Cloud did an excellent job on this custom scenario. And really what's left here is like one guy. So that's going to continue on for a little bit here. We'll just continue to do 6 speed. Because they just did not want to admit defeat. And there we go. Alright guys, so here we are at the end results. I was commanding Dar of Wow. Oh my god, what a weird name. Dar of Wow. I don't know. But yeah, I got the most kills on my team, 2,851. I think I had some really good units. My ally, Synn of the Dark Cloud, getting 2,600, and then Rune getting 1,400. Over on the other side, Miles getting 1,300. But I'm not sure which player this is. I think this is Happy Meal getting about 3,000. And I don't know for sure, but there's the other Arnorian player getting 1,600. If we look at who got the most kills on my team, see who, 313 by the Temple Guard. That might be the best. 318 by the Temple Inquisitors. I think, 372 by the Shield Guard. Excellent. So yeah, that's going to wrap up today's battle. Here's the other stats of the other army. Pretty cool stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, a comment, share, and of course subscribe if you haven't. If you want to see more epic battles, I have a lot more coming out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.